Hello students, welcome to JRF with Ria. Today we are going to discuss about the geosynclines, which is the part 2 session of mountain building chapter. In this session we are going to cover the meaning and concept of geosyncline, characteristics of geosyncline, evaluation of the theory of geosynclines and the stages of geosyncline. So firstly, meaning and concept of geosyncline. The geological history of the continents and ocean basin denotes the fact that it is beginning our global was characterized by two important features. They are rigid masses and geosynclines. Rigid masses representing the ancient nuclei of the present continents have remained stable for considerably longer period of times. These rigid masses are supposed to have been surrounded by mobile zones of water characterized by extensive sedimentation. These mobile zones of water have been termed geosynclines, which have now been covered by compressive forces into folded mountain range. Now come on to the characteristics of geosyncline. The following are the general characteristics of geosynclines. The first is geosyncline are long, narrow and shallow depression of water. These are characterized by gradual sedimentation and subsidence. The nature and patterns of geosynclines have not remained the same throughout geological history. Rather than these have widely changed. In fact, the location, shape, dimension and extension of geosynclines have considerably changed due to earth movements and geological process. Geosynclines are mobile zone of water. Geosynclines are generally bordered by two rigid masses which are called foldlands. Now come on to the evaluation of the theory. The concept of geosynclines was given by James Hall and Dana, but the concept was elaborated by further developed by Hogg. Concept of Hall and Dana. Dana studied the folded mountain and postulated that the sediments of the rocks of folded mountains were of marine origin. These rocks were deposited in long, narrow and shallow seas. Dana named such water bodies as geosyncline. He defined for the first time geosyncline as long, narrow and shallow and sinking beds of seas. Hall elaborated the concept of geosyncline as advanced by Dana. He presented ample evidences to show relationship between geosyncline and folded mountains. He opined that the rocks of folded mountains were deposited in shallow seas. According to Hall, the beds of geosyncline are subjected to subsidence due to continuous sedimentation, but the depth of water in the geosyncline remain the same. Geosynclines are much longer than their width. Now come on to the concept of E. Hogg. If the idea of geosyncline is due to Hall and Dana, the theory of their development is really due to Hogg. They defined geosyncline as long and deep water bodies. According to Hogg, geosynclines are relatively deep water area and they are much longer than their width. He drew the paleographical maps of the world and depicted long and narrow ocean tracts to demonstrate the fact that these water tracts were subsequently folded into mountain ranges. This is the paleogeographical map which is drawn by the E. Hogg. He identified 5 major rigid masses during Mesozoic era. They are North Atlantic mass, Sino-Siberian mass, Africa Brazil mass, Australia India Madagascar mass and the Pacific mass. And he located 4 geosyncline between these ancient rigid masses. They are Rockies geosyncline, Ural geosyncline, Tethys geosyncline and Circum-Pacific geosyncline. Now come on to the view of Schuchertz. He attempted to classify geosyncline on the basis of their characteristics related to their size, location, evolutionary history, etc. He has divided the geosynclines into 3 categories. First is monogeosynclines, which are exceptionally long and narrow but shallow water tract as convenienced by Hall and Dana. The example of monogeosynclines are Appalachian geosynclines. The next is polygeosyncline. They were long and wide water bodies. These were definitely broader than the monogeosynclines. These geosynclines existed for relatively longer period than the monogeosynclines and These have passed through complex evolutionary history. And the next is mesogeosynclines. They are very long, narrow and mobile ocean basins which are bordered by continental from all sides. This geosyncline was folded into alpine mountains of Europe and the Himalayas of Asia. The unfolded remaining portion of Tethys geosyncline became Mediterranean Sea, an example of median mass of Kober. Now come on to the stages of geosynclines. The geosynclinal history is divided into three stages. They are lithogenesis, orogenesis and glyptogenesis. The lithogenesis is the stage of creation of geosyncline, sedimentation and subsidence of the beds of geosyncline. Orogenesis is the stage of squeezing and folding of geosynclinal sediments into mountain ranges, and the glyptogenesis is the stage of gradual rise of mountains and their denudation and consequent lowering of their height. These stages will be elaborated during the discussion of geosyncline theory of Kober in the next video. Till then, keep watching and keep learning, and thank you for watching.